Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be episode number 2 in the My Team Career Mode series, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. But before you guys watch this, if you guys have not watched the first one, please go check that out. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and there should be a tag coming up in the top right corner of your screen any second now. So just check that out if you haven't seen it already, and if you have, feel free to continue the video. And I'm glad to have you guys watching this video. I would like to thank everyone for the amazing support throughout the last month or so. I've gained about 12 to 15 subs, and it's amazing. It's really amazing how much support I'm getting. My goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I know I can do it, and I really hope you guys can continue supporting the channel, and we can get there hopefully by the end of 2020. And I'm going to continue trying to upload every other day on the channel. I know I've been slacking quite a bit, but I'm going to give it a shot and try to upload every other day with something, and I hope you guys enjoy those videos. But without further ado, let's hop straight into this video and continue right where we left off last time, which is starting the Bahrain Grand Prix qualifying. Although we didn't actually get past the race weekend or into the race weekend last time, I went into the race weekend and did some practice, got to know the circuit a bit, as you guys saw earlier, and hopped into qualifying. And as you see right here, I set a lap, but it was really bad. It was a 130.6, basically 130.7. So I went for another lap on the same set of soft compound tires to try and get a better lap and potentially get myself into Q2 for the first time this season. It's also second race of the season, so I'm not really expecting much heading into this. But you can see that Delta is already 6.5 tenths up by the time I get to the second sector. So I'm improving a ton after I had a really bad first lap. Throughout this weekend, I've been struggling with downforce, but I tweaked my setup a bit, and downforce shouldn't be as much of a problem heading into this weekend. See, I lock up right there, heading into turn 10, I believe that's turn 10. We're 1.5 seconds up on our previous lap time by the time we reach the next turn. And from here on out, there's just one more turn until we finish sector 2, and we're 1.6 seconds up on our previous lap time. So far it's a pretty good lap, but as you guys can see right there, I run wide due to the lack of downforce. So obviously I can still feel the downforce issue. I need to address that. I need to get as many aero upgrades as quick as possible, especially with Vietnam next week. But here I am, as I cross the line, I run a 128.9, which isn't the best lap by any means, and I think it was a pretty good banker lap. But here we are moving on later on in the session. I'm going for another lap where I can improve a ton, but the back end just snaps out, and for some reason the car just doesn't want to turn anymore, and it just goes for a spin. Just decides that it doesn't want to continue going through that turn. So that ruins my lap again. I could have gained quite a lot of time through this turn right here, the penultimate corner. Although I was a bit down on the delta, so it wasn't gonna affect me that much. But you can see there, that basically means I'm out of qualifying. But on the bright side of things, I did out-qualify my teammate Mick Schumacher by 1/10 to qualify P20 in this race. So I guess it wasn't horrible. We did worse last week. This week definitely could have made it to Q2. Didn't have enough pace, or we had the pace, just we didn't have luck on our side. Couldn't get a good lap time in, and that was really unfortunate. We have one AlphaTauri, one Haas, and both Williams out in Q1 as well. But without further ado, I'm going to send us straight into the race, and let's see how we do.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be, it's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and Ocon, Norris, Stroll, Perez and Valtteri Bottas, Vettel, Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty, Pierre Gasly and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, George Russell and the owner driver, Latifi, Schumacher, Magnussen and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Better this race, I'm sure. See what you can do.
Here we are going down on the grid now. You can see the lineup is messed up with Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas both just down the grid, down the order, not in the top 10 for either one. And you have a Renault in P4 and a Renault in P6. So the lineup is really just shaken up. And so this race will be an interesting one if we manage to finish. And as you guys can see, hopping onto the formation lap, I underfueled the car just a bit. It's still 1.2 laps over target, so I should be able to use a lot of fuel. I don't have any fuel saving upgrades on the car just yet, but I think it'll be fine. 1.2 laps with the safety car. It'll help us out a ton as well. And starting P18, our teammates in P20. But we're just gonna have to see what we can do off the start and hopefully keep good race pace and not be affected much by the understeer of for the lack of downforce that we have. But with the grid so shaken up at the start, anything can happen in this race. And I certainly hope so. Maybe we can try and find our first points. Maybe we don't, but we're going to 5 red lights here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. And the lights go off right away, and you can see it catches me off guard. Because on the game, it usually stays for a while, at least 1 or 2 seconds. So I get a horrendous start. I hop down the grid, but I dive it down the inside into turn 1. Not something you should do, but since Bahrain's turn 1 is a bit of a tricky one, you can do it. I get forced out wide. I have to avoid hitting anyone, so I go wide. And Latifi has found his way into P16, I believe, P15. And Kimi Raikkonen there on the outside. As I'm on the inside, he gets the spot. I can't do anything, so I just have to try and slot in behind him. And here on lap 1, we have gained 1 position. You see, I look at a move right there, and I think better of it. I get hit from behind by Roman Grosjean. I'm pretty sure that's Grosjean, but here you can see he goes down the inside of the turn 10. I keep it around the outside, and I make it work around the outside to keep P17 in this race. And what a hectic first lap it's been. And here we are, on to lap number 3. Raikkonen has found a way past Latifi and has built a pretty large and healthy gap to him. While I've just caught up to Latifi, and I'm gonna go for a move on him down this straight, saving up the energy and going rich mix, going overtake, turning on DRS. There are yellow flags, and it looks like a Mercedes that's slowed down. It's the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton that is out of the race. And what a terrible weekend it's been for Mercedes. And really, what I was hoping for was that the yellow flags would end, and so I could get the move off. But Latifi lives to fight another day, stays ahead of us, and we have to back off. An unfortunate thing to happen for Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, we've just about never seen him retire in real life, but here in the game, 2 races in, and he's already retired, and so that's just really unfortunate for him. But it's also really unfortunate for us because we couldn't get the move off on Latifi in the end, so we have to wait and try to get him another lap. But we actually don't have to wait that long, as at the end of lap number 4, we're going to attempt another move on him, overtake, Rich Mix, DRS, catching up like crazy on him, and then going into the braking zone, we're side by side, and I get the inside line, I get to control that turn, and I move up into P15 of this Bahrain Grand Prix here on lap number 5. But you can see there, Latifi actually goes to the side and looks like he's about to go for another move, but I turn on overtake and don't give him a chance. So I get to stay in front of him for now in P15.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.4 seconds.
At the end of lap number 5, we have a few cars going into the pits. We got Sainz, we got Ricardo, and I think it's another car. No, it's just those 2. So that promotes us up into P13. And we're supposed to be boxing the next lap, but I decided to go on the soft compound tires for one more lap, as they're actually not doing that bad and they feel pretty good. Along with the fact that I wanted to try and overcut Roman Grosjean behind me, and if I could have one lap fresher mediums, I could probably get back at him at the end of the race instead of having him on my tail the whole entire time. So I'm just pushing throughout this last lap, trying to get a gap, and we'll just have to wait and see how this goes.
The gap to the car ahead is 7.8 seconds. Is in the pits. Nick in the pits. Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Complete. Go now. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
And there you have it, guys. We have gone out in front of Grosjean, but at the expense of costing our teammate some time. I did not know he was going to pit that lap, but here we have Grosjean coming back right at us, getting in front of us here. I go for a switchback move, I time it horribly, and Grosjean gets in front of us, but hopefully these tires will hold him off at the end of the race. We'll be able to get back at him, and we can hopefully get P16 in this Grand Prix. And really unfortunate for Mick Schumacher, who had to double stack behind me, and I apologize for that, but I did not know he was going to pit that lap. That was my bad. But after we get P16 due to Kvyat pitting, Valtteri Bottas is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a horrendous weekend for Mercedes. They have both drivers out, both drivers starting outside of the top 10, and is this a signal that the Mercedes dominance is over in our career mode anyways? It's really blown open the championship for sure. Mercedes scoring no points today means that anyone can get back into this championship fight at this stage. But I actually decided not to pit under the safety car because I didn't think it was worth it. That I would be coming out in last place, and I didn't think I'd be able to overtake 5 cars to get back where I was in 2 laps time, as this is going to be a 2-lap sprint to the finish with no DRS whatsoever. So off the safety car restart, I have a horrendous, or not too bad, it's a pretty bad restart though. It's not the best, but you can see that Kvyat dives it into the pits. I'm not entirely sure why he goes right then and there, but we go for a move on Grosjean down the inside. We go side by side through turn 2, and I let him, I have to back out of it. I don't have much space, and I couldn't do much after that. But you can see I have my teammate and George Russell both behind me, so I have to try and keep them behind me while also trying to overtake Grosjean.
Use your
And
overtake button
this
more. It's
race has
time to
really
utilize
turned
some of this
into
energy.
an exciting one, for sure. But unfortunately for us, I couldn't catch up for Grosjean, but Charles Leclerc comes in first place at the Bahrain Grand Prix. A win he should have gotten in 2019, he gets in 2020 here in my career mode. And we come home for
Alright, race
P15
over. Take
and
care of the car on the
driver of
way
the
in.
day here for this second race of the My Team series.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the deserts. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Let's take a look at the driver's standings. Charles Leclerc assumes the lead in the standings after today's outstanding result. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
And some exciting news there as Red Bull take the lead of the Constructors' Championship, and Charles Leclerc, with that win, leads the Drivers' Championship. But for us, we end up P15 and 16, beating out both Mercedes. So, I mean, they did DNF, but I mean, we still beat them technically. I'll take that. Checking out the standings, you have a Red Bull in P2, Valtteri Bottas still P3, Albon followed by Sainz and Perez. So that's where the midfield really starts up. But Lewis Hamilton, the current 6-time world champion, is down in P7. Now, obviously, our teammate and I both level on points, both at 0 down near the bottom. And in the Constructors' Championship, still the bottom 4 teams are at 0 points. And then with the lowest point scoring team being AlphaTauri with 2 points. And Red Bull do indeed take the lead of the Constructors' Championship by 4 points to Ferrari, who have a 15-point lead to Mercedes. And that is basically your top 3, as McLaren is a bit a ways downwards, 14 points behind Mercedes. Then Renault is 7 points behind them, and so on. And so I move on to this tab over here where we get our Team Acclaim and our cash. Team Acclaim is almost level 3, so we're doing pretty well over there. Still level 1 for me. And 90 grand here out of this weekend, as I have 10k in damage deductions. So that's a bit unfortunate, but 90k is still pretty good. We're up to $1.01 million as a team. Here I am going back to the headquarters page, going to advance time and add some events while I'm at it. Here I am going to the activities page and just going to messages and stuff. I'm just checking everything out, and I have enough, or I'm almost at enough to get a new upgrade. So I think I go and check that out, but I don't have enough because I need 600. So I end up putting an activity in first. And I end up going for the bottom 3 activities as they help me out the most via team-wise with the aerodynamics, which is something that I need, and a few other things. And since I'm nearing the department the upgrade limit on the R&D tree for the aero. I need to find a way to upgrade my aero department to facility spec 1 so that I can upgrade some more. And here I am advancing some time. I gained some more R&D points and I go to check if I can upgrade, but I can't. I'm not at 600 just yet. So I have to sim some more time, but before I do that, I head over to the corporate section and sign a new sponsor. And that new sponsor ends up being Zigzag because I'm sure we can complete 35 laps per race weekend as a team, and I feel like the bonus was alright overall. I head back to the overview section so that I can advance some more time and I get some more resources on the 29th. And so I go check the R&D chart and then sim some more just so I can make sure that I have enough resources. And I go into the arrow section and buy this minor arrow upgrade, the front downforce upgrade, and hopefully this will help us out in later weeks and hopefully not be the car can be less understeery than it was this week. And so fingers crossed that this upgrade will go through and not fail. And there you have it, guys. That was episode number 2 of the My Team Career Mode series. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and tune in hopefully 2 days time to see the Vietnamese Grand Prix for round number 3. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. It really means a lot, and I'll see you guys next time.